What's up everybody, welcome back to DoubleT Gaming, and today we're diving into one of the most iconic classes in World of Warcraft, the Warrior, and comparing how it plays across two of the biggest classic plus private servers, Project Epoch and Turtle WoW. We'll be looking at all the major changes both of these servers made to the Warrior class, as well as covering each spec along with some of the baseline changes to the class in general. This video could actually be the start of a new series on the channel where I go class by class and break down the differences between Epoch and Turtle, so if you enjoy this format, let me know in the comments and I'll keep the series going. Both servers take the Warrior in very different directions. Epoch pushes it down a more TBC inspired path with a Wrath style polish, while Turtle gives it a vanilla reimagining with a ton of custom design. But before we dive into what makes each of them unique, let's take a step back and remember why Warriors were already one of the most powerful classes in original WoW. Back in the day, they were absolute powerhouses. Basically from NC onward, Fury Warriors were just busted. By the end of vanilla, some guilds were literally stacking 20 or more of them because they were just that strong. On the tanking side, Prot Warriors were basically mandatory for progression, since Paladins and Druids just didn't have the toolkit or damage output to match them yet. And in PvP, an Arms Warrior with a Mortal Strike and a Pocket Healer was just devastating. Warriors didn't really need fixing, which is why servers like Epoch and Turtle focused more on giving them new identities rather than trying to balance out old weaknesses, because they barely had any. Now right off the bat, it's worth pointing out that on both of these servers, every race can roll a Warrior. On Turtle, that even includes races like High Elves and Goblins, so no matter what you want to play, you'll always have access to the class. So let's start with Project Epoch. Warriors here play very differently in comparison to vanilla. Instead of the traditional 51 talent points, you get a total of 61 to go along with the TBC talent tree that Epoch uses, with extra points being unlocked every few levels. This completely changes how you can build your warrior and allows for hybrid specs that just didn't exist in Classic or even in TBC. Looking at the arms tree, it starts off familiar, but deeper down you notice some bigger changes. Death Wish is gone, and in its place Sweeping Strikes moves over from Fury, leading directly into Mortal Strike. Endless Rage takes a spot where improved Mortal Strike used to be, giving you more consistent rage generation. They've also added Empowered Ren, which finally makes that ability worth pressing, and at the very end you actually unlock Blade Storm as a capstone ability. So instead of just feeling like a classic Arms Warrior, you end up with something that plays more like a TBC Arms Warrior with a little bit of Wrath flavoring. Cleaving, generating more rage smoothly, and finishing big fights with big flashy AoE abilities. Moving into Fury, the changes are a bit subtler. Most of it still mirrors TBC with Flurry and Bloodthirst at the core, but a few talents have been rearranged. Improved Execute has been shifted down and it's now in the same tier as Weapon Mastery. The real kicker here, and this goes for all specs across all classes in Epoch, is that with the extra points you don't have to fully sacrifice depth in one spec if you want to dip into another spec. So you don't have to sacrifice really that much in Fury if you're trying to dip into Arms or Protection for maybe more utility. Now as for Protection, it's almost a direct copy of the TBC Prot Warrior tree. The difference is those extra talent points again, which lets you go deeper into the tree while still snagging a few goodies from the other ones. Outside of talents, there weren't really too many baseline changes just for the Warrior specifically overall in Epoch, but they did make Victory Rush available very early on at level 10, which helps with sustainability as well as chain pulling. Shouts are now raid wide by default, and a lot of abilities scale better with attack power. Commanding Shout has also been added for Warriors in Project Epoch with the same effect it has in future expansions of WoW. All in all, once again, Warriors on Epoch feel like a refined TBC design with the Wrath polish. Stronger, smoother, with way more flexibility than the original. Now Turtle WoW goes in almost the opposite direction. Instead of taking the TBC base and polishing it up, Turtle reimagines vanilla entirely. The Warrior here is packed with custom talents, weapon type mechanics, and baseline improvements that shake up how you approach the class. If you're looking at arms first, you'll notice the focus is on weapon diversity and cooldown reduction. Thunderclap actually scales its damage now. Anger Management is now a baseline ability, but has been replaced by Masterful Strike, which is a brand new ability that changes its effect based on what weapon type you're using. That theme continues with the Master of Arms a few rows down, giving additional weapon-based bonuses. You also get new talents like Precision Cut to buff Execute, as well as improved disciplines to cut down Recklessness, Shield Wall, and Retaliation cooldowns by as much as 12 minutes. Further down, improved Slam and Boundless Anger open up new options for rotation and rage management, but the tree still ends with Mortal Strike as the capstone. It just feels like a much more varied path to get there. Over in Fury, the theme is mobility and sustain. Your shouts are improved, charge and intercept come up faster, Whirlwind gets better with talents, and you even gain Blood Drinker, which lets you heal while enraged. Death Wish now flows into Flurry, and Bloodthirst is still the capstone, so it feels familiar but with extra tools to keep you going longer. Prot Warriors in Turtle WoW see even bigger changes. Blood Rage is available right at tier 1 for earlier access, with improved Intervene actually giving you a slow immunity, and improved Taunt helping with Taunt's reliability. Gag Order turns Shield Slam into a Purge and Shield Bash into a Silence, while improved Shield Slam buffs block chance and reduces its cooldown. One of the most unique changes is Defensive Tactics, which lets you keep part of your defensive stance threat even if you're in other stances so long as you have a shield on. This makes Prot much more versatile, not just in raids, but also maybe Gladiator PvP. And when it comes to baseline ability, Turtle Warriors get even more love. Anger Management once again is just a passive effect now to help with overall rage generation while leveling. Execute was rebalanced to scale harder with Rage. Dual Wield unlocks level 10 with Intervene being at level 20, and Pummel can be used in Battle Stance at level 18 and does 5% of your attack power damage. Slam also no longer resets your swing timer, it just pauses it. Ren scales with attack power, and even Rage Decay was standardized to 2 rage lost every 2 seconds. Hamstring was also put on a 6-second cooldown. These Turtle WoW tweaks make the class feel smoother to level and just a little bit sturdier overall, while still keeping things in balance. So, while Epoch Warriors feel like Blizzard's own TBC design taken one step further, Turtle Warriors feel like vanilla completely reimagined with modern sensibilities and tons of customization. One gives you polish, the other gives you fresh identity. At the end of the day, if you want a faithful extension of Blizzard's TBC design with more talent points and a little bit of Wrath inspiration, Project Epoch is for you. If you'd rather explore a unique take on vanilla with weapon-based mechanics, sustains tools, and rework cooldowns, Turtle WoW delivers that one-of-a-kind experience. Both servers keep Warriors strong and fun and rewarding. It really just depends on whether you prefer classic expanded Blizzard's way or classic reimagined from the ground up. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know in the comments. This could be the first video in a new series where again I cover each class across Epoch and Turtle, comparing their changes side by side. So if you want to see rogues, mages, paladins, druids, or whatever it is, drop your vote below, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more Turtle WoW or Project Epoch content. I will be beginning to regularly stream both of these servers, so if you want to hop in the stream and say hello, that would be awesome. But thank you guys for watching. This is DoubleT Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next video.